Seattle, Washington, 2005. A city buzzing with tech dreams and grunge echoes. Where ambition hums beneath the drizzle. In the heart of Laurelhurst's manicured streets. A teenage girl is about to ignite a revolution no one sees coming, not even her own family. Emma Harper was 15 years old when she first felt the sting of being invisible in her own home. Born into wealth in one of Seattle's most affluent neighborhoods, she grew up in a sprawling Tudor-style mansion owned by her father, Richard Harper, a commercial real estate titan whose handshake could close million-dollar deals. Richard was a man of towering presence. With a voice that commanded boardrooms and a worldview rooted in tradition, men led. Women followed. Emma's mother, Evelyn, once a rising star in finance, had long since traded her calculator for cocktail parties, molding herself into the perfect corporate wife. Then there was Emma's younger brother, Ethan, 13, a boy of average talents but boundless charm in their father's eyes. In the Harper household, Ethan's every step was celebrated, while Emma's triumphs were met with polite indifference. It started small, the kind of slight you might brush off if it happened once. Emma, a straight-A student with a knack for puzzles, spent her evenings in her bedroom, surrounded by salvaged computer parts she'd scavenged from thrift stores. By 15, she'd built her first PC from scratch, its fans whirring proudly as she taught herself to code. One rainy evening, Richard paused at her door, glancing at the tangle of wires and circuit boards. "Cute hobby," he muttered, before heading downstairs to boast about Ethan's latest soccer goal at dinner, a goal that, Emma knew, had been more luck than skill. "That kid's got grit," Richard declared, pouring himself a glass of Cabernet. "You can't teach that kind of instinct." Emma swallowed the ache and kept going. By 16, she was writing simple programs, her fingers dancing across the keyboard as she built apps to streamline her homework or track her running splits. Her high school counselor, Ms. Delgado, saw the fire in her and urged her to aim high. "You're MIT material, Emma," she said, handing her a glossy brochure. But when Emma brought the idea home, Richard dismissed it with a wave. "MIT's a stretch, sweetheart. Expensive, too. University of Washington's plenty good for you." Yet, when Ethan barely passed his freshman algebra class, private tutors materialized overnight. When college acceptance letters arrived, Richard found the funds to send Ethan to Boston University, while Emma pieced together scholarships to make MIT a reality. Evelyn smoothed it over with her usual softness. "Your brother needs the network. Emma, you're so smart. You'll shine anywhere." At MIT, Emma found her tribe, surrounded by coders, dreamers, and innovators who judged her for her ideas, not her gender. She thrived. Her roommate, Mia Chen, became her confidant, the two staying up until dawn debating blockchain's potential or the ethics of AI. "You don't just get tech," Mia said one night, bleary-eyed over coffee during finals. "You see how to make it better." Emma graduated summa cum laude at 21 with dual degrees in computer science and entrepreneurship. While Ethan, after 5 years and a string of academic warnings, scraped by with a marketing degree from BU. The disparity followed them into adulthood. At Emma's graduation dinner in 2012, Richard raised his glass. "To Emma, our scholar," he said, his tone warm but brief. Then, with a grin that lit up the room, he added, "And to Ethan, who just landed a director role at Pinnacle Realty at 23. That's how you make waves." Emma later learned the job came through Richard's country club connections, with a salary that dwarfed her entry-level gig at Nexus Solutions, a Seattle tech consultancy. For 4 years, Emma climbed the ranks at Nexus, her knack for problem-solving earning her promotions and respect. In 2015, during a high-stakes project for a fintech client, she spotted a flaw in how data was encrypted across platforms, a vulnerability that left millions at risk. After hours, she crafted a sleek, efficient fix, one that slashed latency without compromising security. Her boss, Greg Larson, called it game-changing, but shrugged when corporate opted for a clunky, established vendor. That night, Emma called Mia, now a rising star at a Silicon Valley VC firm. "This solution works, Mia. It's better than anything out there." But no one here cares. Mia's voice crackled with conviction. Then make them care. Build it yourself. The idea of going solo was terrifying yet exhilarating. Emma had savings, a prototype, and a vision for a platform, CipherFlow, that could redefine cross-platform security. But when she pitched the idea to Richard over dinner, he scoffed. Cybersecurity's a man's game. Emma, big players like Palo Alto Networks eat startups for breakfast. Stay at Nexus. You've got a good thing going. He gestured to Ethan, now transitioning to another role at Pinnacle after a vague restructuring. Your brother gets it. Work the system. Pay your dues. Ethan nodded sagely, as if his string of cushy, unearned jobs qualified him to lecture her. Emma looked between them, her father, who'd built an empire from nothing but now preached caution, and her brother, who'd never risked anything, and made her choice. In January 2016, at 25, Emma quit Nexus. She turned her spare bedroom into a war room. Whiteboards scrawled with algorithms and architecture diagrams for CipherFlow. With $10 in savings and a 6-month runway, she dove in, fueled by coffee, grit, and a belief that her idea could change the game. The world didn't notice yet, but Emma Harper was about to build something extraordinary, and face a betrayal that would test everything she was made of. Seattle, Washington, 2019. The air is thick with ambition in a downtown steakhouse, where power plays unfold over bourbon and prime rib. For Emma Harper, a 28-year-old tech visionary, this night will shatter her world, and spark a comeback no one could predict. Emma Harper sat at the polished mahogany table in the private dining room of the Metropolitan Grill. Her father's favorite haunt for sealing deals. The clink of champagne glasses filled the air as Richard Harper, her father, beamed with unusual warmth. To Emma, he toasted, his voice carrying the weight of a man used to being heard. For building CipherFlow into a $50 million empire. A true Harper triumph. Emma, dressed in a sleek blazer, allowed herself a rare smile. After years of being sidelined, her father's pride felt like a long overdue victory. But as the main courses arrived, Richard's tone shifted, his eyes glinting with purpose. And to CipherFlow's next chapter, he continued, with Ethan stepping in as CEO. The room spun. Emma's fork froze mid-air. Ethan, her 26-year-old brother, who'd joined CipherFlow just 9 months ago as a strategic partnerships director, sat across from her, his practiced grin barely masking his unease. Richard pressed on, unfazed. Emma, you're a genius with tech, but an IPO demands a different kind of leader. Ethan's got the business savvy, the presence. It's what the board wants. Emma's mother, Evelyn, nodded faintly, her eyes pleading for calm. It's for the company's good. Dear, for the company? Emma's voice was steady, but her pulse raced. I built CipherFlow from my apartment. With my code, my patents, my vision. Ethan's barely managed his role. And you're handing him my company? Richard's smile tightened. The board's been discussing this for months. It's decided. You'll stay on as CTO. Keep doing what you're best at. Ethan chimed in, his voice smooth but hollow. We value your work, Emma. This is just business. The word, business, landed like a slap. Months of secret meetings. Her father pulling strings with investors. Ethan positioning himself, all while she poured her soul into CipherFlow. The betrayal cut deeper than she'd ever imagined. Emma stood, her chair scraping the floor. Congratulations, Ethan. Enjoy your title, but don't expect the company you think you're getting. She walked out into the Seattle night, her mind already racing with plans. Richard and Ethan thought they'd won. They had no idea what was coming. The next morning, Emma met with Sarah Klein, CipherFlow's sharp-eyed corporate attorney, in a sleek office overlooking Puget Sound. Tell me where I stand, Emma said, her voice calm but resolute. Sarah pulled up documents, her fingers flying across the keyboard. You own 30% of CipherFlow. Your father's investor allies control 40%. They can vote you out as CEO. But here's the kicker. She pointed to a clause in the company bylaws. Your core patents, the adaptive encryption algorithm, the cross-platform protocol, are yours personally. Licensed to CipherFlow with conditions tied to your involvement. Sarah flipped to client contracts. And your top 5 clients, accounting for 60% of revenue, have personal service clauses requiring you. Without you, those contracts are shaky. Emma's mind clicked into overdrive. She spent the next 3 weeks playing a double game. At Cypherflow's headquarters, she was the picture of professionalism, leading meetings and reassuring clients while Ethan and Richard planned their transition. Behind the scenes, she was a strategist preparing for war. She documented everything: her patents, client relationships, technical contributions. She met privately with her executive team, Lucas Grant, her CTO and coding partner from Nexus, Olivia Bennett, her operations guru, and Sophia Nguyen, her CFO. They're trying to take Cypherflow, Emma told them in her office, her voice low but fierce. I'm leaving, and I'm starting something new. Are you in? Lucas leaned forward, his jaw set. Without you, Cypherflow's just a name. I'm with you. Olivia and Sophia nodded, their loyalty unwavering. We built this with you, Sophia said. Not your father, not Ethan. Emma's heart swelled. These were her people, her chosen family. She also met with Cypherflow's top clients, framing the visits as routine check-ins. Over coffee with Meridian Bank's CIO, she subtly highlighted her personal role in their security architecture. I'm committed to your success, no matter what changes at Cypherflow, she said, planting seeds of doubt about the company's future without her. Each client nodded, their trust in her palpable. The night before the board vote, Richard called. Emma, this silent treatment is childish. The transition's happening. Don't tank the company out of spite. Emma's voice was ice. I'm not fighting, Dad. I'm preparing. See you tomorrow. She hung up, her plan locked in. Sleep came easily that night, a calm born of certainty. At 7:30 a.m., Emma arrived at Cypherflow's sleek headquarters. 2 hours before the board meeting, Lucas, Olivia, and Sophia joined her, their faces grim but determined. Everything's ready, Sophia said, handing Emma a folder of financial records. All accounts are clean. Olivia nodded. Team memos are queued, ready to send on your signal. Lucas slid a flash drive across the desk. Full tech docs, with your personal patents clearly separated. Emma looked at them, her voice steady. This is it. No turning back. Your careers are on the line. Lucas smirked. There's no Cypherflow without you. Let's do this. By 9 o'clock, the boardroom was tense, the Cypherflow logo gleaming on the conference table. Richard and Ethan, in matching navy suits, avoided Emma's gaze. The chairman, Walter Grayson, called the meeting to order. We're here to vote on Ethan Harper as CEO, with Emma transitioning to CTO. Before the motion could advance, Emma stood, distributing folders. I'd like to address the board first. Her presentation was surgical. Cypherflow's value rests on 3 pillars: proprietary tech, client relationships, and executive talent. Let's start with tech. She pointed to her patents. These 7 core patents are mine, licensed to Cypherflow only while I'm involved. Without me, the license lapses. Richard's face darkened, but Emma continued. Next, clients. Our top 5, generating 60% of revenue, have contracts tied to my personal oversight. Page 12 has the details. She nodded to Sarah, who confirmed. The contracts are airtight. Without Emma, those clients can walk. Finally, Emma signaled for Lucas, Olivia, and Sophia to enter. My executive team has indicated they'll resign if this vote passes. Their contracts allow them to leave with full equity. The boardroom fell silent, the weight of her words sinking in. Walter removed his glasses, stunned. You're saying Cypherflow would lose its tech, clients, and leadership? Emma nodded. Exactly. You'd have a shell worth a fraction of $50 million. Richard's voice shook. This is blackmail. Emma met his gaze. This is business. Dad, you taught me that. Ethan, panicking, turned to Richard. You said this was handled. Richard snapped. It should have been. Emma seized the moment. I'm resigning as CEO. Effective immediately. My patents and I are leaving. The board can negotiate a licensing deal with my new venture, Phoenix Security, or start from scratch. Your choice. She placed her resignation letter on the table and walked out. Lucas, Olivia, and Sophia behind her. The fallout was swift. By noon, Emma's memo to Cypherflow's staff announced her departure and the launch of Phoenix Security. Employees flooded her inbox, begging to join. Industry blogs broke the news. Cypherflow founder Emma Harper exits amid board coup. By day's end, analysts slashed Cypherflow's valuation. Richard's calls went from threats to desperate offers. While Ethan texted, "You've ruined everything," Emma ignored them, focusing on Phoenix. She'd secured a small office in Pioneer Square weeks earlier. And by evening, equipment was in place. Within 48 hours, 20 Cypherflow employees, including the entire engineering team, jumped ship to Phoenix. 3 of Cypherflow's top clients terminated their contracts, citing Emma's personal service clauses, and signed with Phoenix. Cypherflow's value cratered to under $10 million, while Phoenix soared. 18 months later, Phoenix Security hit a $100 million valuation, surpassing Cypherflow's peak. Emma built a culture of innovation and integrity, where ideas trumped titles. She launched a mentorship program for women in tech, ensuring others had the support she'd lacked. By 2021, Phoenix reached a $200 million valuation and went public in a blockbuster IPO, earning Emma the title of Seattle's youngest tech unicorn founder. Cypherflow, meanwhile, was a shadow of itself, acquired for scraps by a competitor. Its brand survived only as a footnote. Ethan floundered as CEO before landing another job through Richard's connections. Richard retired, his legacy tarnished. Emma's family ties frayed. Evelyn offered a tearful apology for her silence, while Richard, years later, admitted his mistake. "I underestimated you," he said in Phoenix's boardroom, his voice heavy. Emma nodded. "You did, but I don't need your approval anymore." Therapy helped Emma process the betrayal. "Your father's validation was never about you," her therapist said. "It was about his control." Emma embraced this, finding peace in her work and her team. Phoenix wasn't just a company, it was proof that pain could fuel greatness. Sometimes, Emma told a crowd at a tech conference, "Losing everything forces you to build something better. Betrayal taught me my worth." What's your Phoenix moment?